a deadly disease outbreak, a new display set to honor an OU icon, and a new building opens on campus. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Taylor Wynn.
And I'm Madissen Lewis. We begin with what may be the end of what's become an OU campus tradition.
The Day of the Dead Festival, held annually by the Hispanic American Student Association, will not take place this year.
OU Nightly's Cal Day has been digging into this story all day and joins us live now. Cal, what's behind the change?
Yeah, well, Taylor and Madissen, we're told that it really came down to an issue of funding. Now, right now, we're at the Lloyd Noble Center right here on campus where, as you can see, people are starting to arrive with their trailers and cars for tomorrow's festivities. Now, in a couple of weeks, instead of this parking lot being full, it could be deserted in place of the annual Day of the Dead Festival. And the students and organizers who take part in this festival say they aren't happy.
To be honest, it felt nice. It felt like the Latino community had like a festival, like Norman, a place to gather and be together, and it was the closest I think a lot of people, I even myself included, felt like back home. This was like the only event where I could hear Spanish be spoken a lot around me, and I felt like, oh, like the university is trying to engage with the Hispanic community, and now that it's gone, I don't know how the Hispanic community will feel like. Because even last year we had like a famous like people come here and that brought a lot of like members out. So I don't know like how they will feel about it. Maybe people will think they were let down by the university, or that the university now that we have changed presidents, the university doesn't really care about us anymore.
Now, Taylor and Madissen, we reached out to the Office of Student Affairs several times today. Our call has yet to be returned with a statement. For now, we're live at the Lloyd Noble Center right here on campus. Cal Day, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Cal. A historic day for Oklahoma City as the new Scissortail Park officially opens. The 70-acre park in the core of downtown Oklahoma City will be home to everything from a lake and nature trail to sports facilities and a cafe. The park opens tonight with a free concert by Kings of Leon. Before you go, check Scissortail's website for a list of items not allowed at the concert.
And the weather should be perfect for anyone heading to the park tonight, Madissen.
But what about the game tomorrow? Martin Lowrimore joins us now with a first look at the forecast. Martin?
Today, it's been a very windy one all across the state, especially the western end. Enid, Elk City, just pretty much anything westward of the I-35 corridor has been experiencing winds up to 20 miles an hour today. Here in Norman, it's at 14 right now as a constant wind speed. Those wind gusts, 22 here in Norman, 30 mile an hour wind gusts all across the western end of the state. It's been a pretty windy day all across the state. It's also been a little bit hot in that western end of the state. Woodward almost got up to 100 degrees about an hour ago, got up to 99. Norman, we're hitting at our high right now of 91. It's a pretty hot day all across the state, and we're also seeing pretty much nothing going on with the live radar, but we are thinking of something else happening tomorrow. We're going to talk about this last week's heat, possibly a cool down, and some more storms coming this weekend.
Thanks, Martin. Autumn Waggoner joins us in the News Center with more on the whistleblower complaint. Autumn.
Thanks, Taylor. The impeachment inquiry sparked by the whistleblower complaint is widening to include Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. 3 House committees have now subpoenaed Pompeo for failing to produce documents on Ukraine. Pompeo was supposed to hand over documents pertaining to President Trump, his lawyer Rudy Giuliani, and the Ukrainian government. The document deadline was yesterday. Legionnaire's disease is on the rise. A second deadly outbreak of Legionnaire's disease has hit the southeastern U.S. The outbreak appears to be linked to water rides at the North Carolina Mountain State Fair. The disease is a serious lung infection caused by the Legionella bacteria. It's typically found in warm, fresh water like hot tubs and hot water tanks, but it can also be found in plumbing systems. Symptoms include severe coughing, muscle aches, fever, shortness of breath, and headaches. At least 1 person has died and 42 have been hospitalized. In Madissen and Taylor, police in Texas are searching for a possible serial shooter firing at broken down vehicles. 2 people were shot in 4 separate incidents this week and 1 person is dead. 3 of the 4 shootings took place near I-20. Investigators are actively pursuing the individual.
Thank you, Autumn. And keep an eye out for a new display coming to Monett Hall.
More on who this display is honoring when we come back.
Plus, an OU International student advocating for a change in the Norman community. Stay with us to find out more about this event.
Logan Morrow joins us in the studio with an OU student who is organizing an event for the Norman community. Logan?
Thanks, Madissen. I'm here with OU International student Natalia Fabry, and she's organizing Norman's first climate strike for change. So, Natalia, what inspired you to organize this event?
Well, obviously, what's happening worldwide right now, in every country, everyone's striking. It's Global Climate Change Strike Week. Greta definitely inspired me, and it's not that I am like a organizer for events or something, but I wanted to go to a strike because I've never been to one, and I couldn't go to the OKC one, and I was wondering where the one was on campus or in Norman, and I didn't find any, so I was like, I might as well do one.
Yeah, for sure. So how can our students on campus get involved with your strike?
Well, definitely come. If you've made a sign with a quote that you want everyone to read, bring it. If you want to say anything, we'll have like an open mic section. So definitely come, your voice will be heard. I know at the OKC one, there's a lot of people that tried to talk and they couldn't. So definitely here you have a voice.
Sure, yeah. So then what exactly are you hoping that we gain as a community after this event's over?
So what I hope our community does is to understand that we do not only have the power to change individually, but as a group. We have a lot of organizations, places where we could decrease waste. We could, for example, decrease the meat intake, like have meatless Mondays or something like that. There's a lot of stuff you can do individually, but definitely the higher authorities here on campus, they can do a lot to help us help them. Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Natalie.
Thank you.
And the climate strike does begin tonight at 5 in the South Oval, so be sure to make it there when you get a chance after your classes. Back to you in studio.
Thanks, Logan and Natalia. 7 decades after being denied admission to the OU College of Law on racial grounds, Ada Lois Scipio Fisher was honored with a display in Monnet Hall for her career successes and her fight for equality. The display was dedicated yesterday as part of Civil Rights Week here at OU. Fisher challenged the decision, and in 1949 she was admitted. After years of spending years as an attorney, Fisher was appointed to the OU Board of Regents in 1992.
A new building on campus officially celebrated its opening today.
We'll tell you more about the engineering building that's focusing more on just classwork.
And it's been a hot week and a windy day, but what's in forecast for the next week? Find out after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. It seems to look like a very nice day today, but looking at Oklahoma City and Devon Tower, it is a pretty hot and a little bit windy day right now. 92, not a cloud in the sky, winds as a constant south 21 miles an hour. Those aren't even wind gusts. It feels a little humid. It's still on that verge of shifting between summer and fall, so our dew point's still in about the 60s, but it still doesn't feel like fall. Where is it? Right now, all across the state, it's been hot, humid just for the past few weeks. But why is that? Well, it's not just the case for just Oklahoma. The entire southeastern edge of the state, and it's because of this high pressure system called the Bermuda High. Now, this Bermuda High during the summer likes to shift its way across into the southeastern part of the state, where it does give that it does give the moist and hot air to the southeastern part and pushes its way back into this area where we get this warm and moist air from the Gulf of Mexico giving us these high temperatures, and it's just not leaving. Right now, we're looking at record high temperatures all across the southeast. Current temperatures right now in Oklahoma City, or the Oklahoma area, Woodward again at 98, very hot. Oh, Norman here at 90, we're looking to just about to get back below into those 80s. Looking at in the evening, starting your night at about 8 o'clock, 82 degrees, winds still persisting throughout the entire night. By midnight, we should drop down to 77 degrees. Severe weather for tomorrow, but probably not going to make its way to here. We're looking at a slight risk, which is a 2 out of 5 for the SPC or the Storm Prediction Center. Right now, Norman is sitting just on the edge of the 1 to marginal, so we're probably not expecting a whole lot for tomorrow. Looking in for the rest of the day, starting off your day for Oklahoma versus Texas Tech, looking like it's going to be the clouds will linger throughout the rest of the day with those winds still persisting near 10 to 20 miles an hour. Those precipitation chances will increase in the afternoon when we have those storms finally move their way possibly into our area. It's still only a chance. Highs tomorrow, a little bit cooler than it was today, so we're very much expecting that, especially the westward part of the state where they have just been broiling hot. Radar forecast, see these are those south winds going in right here, and it's always just because this cold front that may be making its way down here, it will start shifting its way toward the area, but Saturday at 10 by 5 is going to be our best chances of rain. See a couple of these showers, but the main bulk will stay into the northern area in Kansas. By Sunday, the system will have moved on, bringing back those southerly winds. So it's not going to be very fun when it comes to those. Storms will be gusty, and the storms will be all in the evening on Saturday. Storms early on Sunday. We are looking at a possibility of a cold front in the latter part of next week. So OU Nightly will keep you updated on that.
Well, those winds do seem a little crazy, but man, that cold front that could come in.
As long as I'm not sweating, I don't really care.
Well, thanks, Martin. And the new biomedical engineering building, Gallagly Hall, was dedicated this afternoon.
It will house a new cancer research unit in partnership with the OU Madissen Stevenson Cancer Center. This facility will also provide researchers, faculty, and students opportunities to focus on diabetes research, biomechanics, and biotechnology. The ribbon-cutting ceremony was hosted by OU President Joseph Haraz.
And that is all the time we have for this newscast this Friday night, but don't go anywhere.
Chloe Sparks and the Big Friday Sports team are here with a preview.
Today on Big Friday Sports, the Sooners look to fight off a Red River invasion. The Game Day U team joins us with next preview of what to expect and a few of the Sooners' struggles. Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Chloe Sparks.
And I'm James Myers. Chloe, we have been waiting a long time for
Kanye's new album.
Yes, that. But I'm talking about OU football. After 2 weeks of waiting, Sooner fans finally get to see the Crimson and Cream take the field tomorrow.
We're not the only ones excited. Coach Lincoln Riley also says they're ready to start this game.
The bye week, which I think was really productive for us in a number of ways, but excited to get back at it here into Big 12 play.
And to preview the matchup against Texas Tech this week, we're joined by Sam Brown, Christian Nunley, Parker Thune, and William Soule from Game Day U.
I'm here located on the 3rd floor of the Gaylord balcony, and my co-anchors are scattered all around OU's campus as we delve back into OU football in Norman after the week-long hiatus that had us all reeling. Sam, what do you got for us?
Sam Brown outside the College Football Playoff Selection Room at the Gaylord Texan in Grapevine. Got a story on that in the weeks to come, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. But shifting things over to Saturday, one position group I'll be looking for is the defensive line. Now, they've been way more opportunistic than last year. They're 20th, tied for 20th in the country with 3 sacks per game, and they're going up against a Texas Tech offensive line that is experienced and that is actually tied for 7th in the country in sacks allowed per game. But in the backfield, no Alan Bowman for the Red Raiders, Jackson Tiny or Jet Duffy making the start for Texas Tech. So if the defensive line could really rattle the quarterback, force them to make a couple mistakes that the secondary and the linebacker group have taken advantage of so far, should be smooth sailing for the Sooners on Saturday. Now let's toss it over to Parker Thune to talk about the other side of the trenches.
Hey, thanks, Sam. I'm out here at Owen Field. You can see and hear the maintenance crews behind me getting this place ready for Oklahoma and Texas Tech tomorrow morning. Let's talk about the Sooner offensive line. Obviously, Creed Humphrey, the future NFL first-rounder, is a rock at center, but with 4 first-time starters at the other positions, this line as a whole has had its share of struggles here in 2019. Yes, they've cleared some big holes for the Sooner backfield. They've also been penalized a lot. It was a specific point of emphasis for Bill Beedenbow over the bye week. Now the Sooners' focus tomorrow will be not only on playing 4 quarters of explosive football, but 4 quarters of clean football as well. Now we switch gears once again and send you over to William Soule. William?
Thanks, Parker. I'm here on the South Oval talking about the OU secondary, a unit that has been much maligned over the past few years, especially by Texas Tech, combining for over 1,500 passing yards on this Sooner secondary over the past 3 years with 4 different Texas Tech quarterbacks. Now, the unit has been really good so far this year against, well, a lot of people would say subpar opponents. Parnell Motley leads the country in yards per cover snap this year, so it'll be interesting to see whether this secondary unit led by Alex Grinch and the new defensive coordinating staff can hold up against the Texas Tech team that has given this team fits over the past few years. Now I'm going to lob it to Christian to wrap us up.
Thanks for the lob, Soule. Be sure to tune in to Game Day U tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on Facebook Live and Cox Channel 124 to hear extra great analysis and more.
While OU takes on Tech at home, here's what's happening around the Big 12.
The Kansas Jayhawks head to Fort Worth to take on the TCU Horned Frogs at 11.
The Iowa State Cyclones travel to Waco to face the Baylor Bears at 2:30.
And the Oklahoma State Cowboys host a 24th-ranked Kansas State Wildcats at 6.
Texas and West Virginia are enjoying a bye week and will face off against each other next Saturday.
Chloe, as far as rankings go, OU and K-State are the only ranked Big 12 teams playing this weekend.
In Seattle, a local legend says goodbye. Coming up, we have his emotional farewell to Emerald City.
Good afternoon, Sooners. I know we're all getting ready to go see Oklahoma take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders this weekend. On Saturday, we're going to be seeing, and when we start your tailgating, about 79 degrees. Pretty comfortable when we had the past few times. By kickoff, it should be about 82 degrees. Still pretty comfortable. By the time for your drive home, it's going to be about 85 degrees. Those clouds will linger around. Hopefully they will stay, but not giving any precipitation for the area. Those storms should stay to the north until the afternoon.
Thanks, Martin. And James, it sounds like if you're kicking for chicken this weekend, you might as well kick towards the north end zone. OU Track and Field has 40 combined individual national championships. 27 of those belong to the sprinters and jumpers.
Yeah, Chloe, but the program hasn't seen one of those since 2013. Caroline Grace has the inside look on how the team looks to get back on track.
There's a new face in town for the OU Track and Field team.
Push, 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 push. I started at High Point University. Spent 2 years there under my old head coach when I was in college. Got the job at the head job at Charleston Southern University. Stayed there 10 years. That they really mentored me and allowed me to grow as a head coach. Then went to the South Carolina State University where I could continue building my head coaching prowess, building what it takes to be a successful head coach. And I'm ready to bring that experience to Oklahoma and make it happen for the Sooners.
Coach Tim Langford is no stranger to the sport and anticipates his first season with not only the Sooners, but his first Power 5 school as well.
He's doing a great job. Coach Langford is doing what we need him to do. He's giving us what we need. He's showing the experience that he has. He's coached All-Americans. He's coached national champions. So we're bringing that extra level to where we want to be.
Did you feel any difference on that?
Something he's previously done himself. He's here to coach the sprinters and jumpers.
My experience of being in the sprints and jumps, being a jumper in college, I think it's going to help the program a lot. I think the opportunities here are endless.
I think because he was a head coach before, I think that helps me trust him more that he's in that position again here. He's very energetic when it comes to practices. He's very team-oriented.
You let him come back and beat you. How?
His main priority is to build a championship program.
They trust me with their careers, and I don't take that lightly. And I'm going to guide them to success the best way I can using all of my experience. It's so valuable to have an athlete look at you and know that my coach has done it.
I feel faster. The team's starting to feel faster. We're starting to do some great things.
3, 4, 5. The institution, I can't say enough about it. And, we have a phenomenal product. And my job is to get the name of the product out there. We got to win. Everyone respects success. The brand demands it. I think the athletic department demands it, and I demand it. Yeah.
As you can see, Coach Langford's day starts when the sun comes up and ends when the sun goes down. Because of the historical greatness that lies within their sprinters and jumpers here at OU, he anticipates the rise of the program once again. He's got his work cut out for him, but it's only September. The OU Track and Field team heads out in December to kick off their 2019-2020 indoor season. Caroline Grace, Big Friday Sports.
Thank you, Caroline. And friends become foes in Baltimore this weekend when the Browns face the Ravens Sunday at noon.
Baker Mayfield threw a touchdown against the Rams last weekend, but the dog pound fell 20-13.
Meanwhile, his former teammates Marquise Brown had 2 catches for 49 yards, but the Ravens ended up losing 33-28 against the Chiefs. James, Kyler will miss the reunion since he will be taking on the Seahawks in Arizona at 3:05.
Chloe, so far the Cardinals offense has been disappointing, but they're moving more towards air raid offense every single week. We'll see if Kyler can outplay his fellow undersized dual threat quarterback Russell Wilson and get his first NFL win.
15 seasons later, Felix Hernandez steps down from the Mariners mound. Seattle has been home to Hernandez since he joined the major leagues.
His last start ended in his 136th loss, but overall he won 169 games for the Mariners. Hernandez won the Cy Young Award in 2010 and pitched a perfect game 2 years later, a feat only accomplished 23 times in the history of MLB. If you haven't heard yet, you got to see this play. Chloe, take it home.
What's a guy got to do for 200 strikeouts? Watch this. Red Sox's Chris Owings pops one up on a 1-2 pitch. The ball heads for foul territory with 3 bodies ready to catch, but nope. Rangers' Jose Trevino and Ronald Guzman come in clutch, giving pitcher Mike Minor a chance to set a PR. Minor strikes Owings out the next pitch, and Rangers end up taking home a 7-5 victory. That's all we have for today from Big Friday Sports. Be sure to watch Game Day U tomorrow at 8 a.m. for more sports talk.
Until then, here's some highlights from last year's shootout between OU and the Red Raiders. Enjoy your weekend.
Four wide receivers at center.